Originally, I decided to go into law enforcement as a change to what I've been doing. I've been retail management for about 20 years. I'd always was interested in law enforcement. Once I got into it, it was something I fell in love with. I'm assigned to the Financial Investigations Unit with the Property Division. From a personal perspective, I know how damaging it is to a business when crimes and thefts happen to it, and I'm sort of motivated to assist them for that reason. One of the most common type of cases that we work involve stolen checks, stolen credit card information, and usually this occurs through theft of mail. One of the things that I get great satisfaction are dealing with senior citizens, dealing with exploitation of senior citizens. We had a case where a person, she's 60-some years old, had been receiving over a year hundreds of pieces of mail that were notifying her of fraudulent accounts that had been opened in her name. We were able to go through and do court orders for information from these accounts located at the suspect's house, and to finally be able to call up the victim and say, "Ma'am, we've solved your case. This is who did it, and this is what we've done, and we'll be able to provide any assistance we can for you." It's very satisfying to help people out that way. Both my daughter and I are recipients of the Shield Club Scholarship. I would not be able to attend college right now if it were not for the Shield Club Scholarship, and that's something I've wanted to do, but obviously as a parent, my children come first. So if I had to sacrifice one way or the other, I would sacrifice so my children could go. But with the Shield Club Scholarship, I don't have to make that choice. Having the Shield Club give the recognition and the scholarships that it does enables us to do things we couldn't do otherwise. And by continuing my education, I hope to apply that to my job and do better work in the future.
Wanted to become a firefighter to try and help people out and make a difference where I can. I was in the Army, and that's how I came to Georgia, and then when I got out of the Army, just came here. Missed the lifestyle I had in the Army as far as the camaraderie and the people and doing something for others, trying to make a difference, so that brought me to the fire department. The Army helped me by teaching me how to emotionally detach myself from bad situations. That way I can just fall back and rely on training. When we get the call, the bad things already happened, so now we're trying to catch up. Or one night, a retired fire lieutenant went into cardiac arrest, and we responded, and he was able to recover and was discharged quickly from the hospital. I was able to use a lot of my training, and then when we moved him to the ambulance, the training I had as a paramedic became helpful, because when we hooked him up to the ambulance services cardiac monitor, we were able to interpret the rhythm that his heart was in. And the rhythm it was in was very unique and very rare that guys go whole careers with never seeing it. We identified it and treated it properly, and he was awake and talking to us by the time we got to the hospital. The Shield Club and like organizations are very important, because the men and women in public safety, they need the community behind them. It means a lot to be able to put on this uniform. The community respects you. They realize you're there to help. You're there to make a difference, and they can rely on us.
I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years, and so when I got out of it, I had to find something that kind of would give me the same excitement that I would like doing instead of sitting behind a desk all day. And 6 years later, I'm here. Hopefully I'll be an officer one day. Right now I'm just a private, but you know, you have to work up through the ranks. So my near goal is to become a sergeant, and then my far goal is one day to become an officer. I'm a go-getter. Like, if we get some intel or information about some guys that need to be caught, I like to get out here and ride around, talk to the people that I know from like where I grew up at, and basically you have to get the community to trust you. Once every day you come into work, get an intel brief. So in the intel brief, it included an Impala that had been stolen. In the wee hours of the morning, I ended up seeing that car. So before I actually turned my emergency lights on, I started getting units in the area just in case they wanted to run and be on a high-speed chase. So as I ran the tag with dispatch, it did verify that the car was stolen. So at that time, I attempted to stop the vehicle. They ended up having a wreck and jumping out the vehicle And we ended up detaining all 3 of the suspects. And then later on, probably about 10, 15 minutes later, got a call of what those guys looked like. And then it turned out to be the guys that just had committed a murder a couple hours before. Having a group like the Shield Club I think it's good to help the community understand that we're not all bad guys. A lot more people could be like that, then the world would be a better place.
I guess after being in the military and now I was able to serve my country, I was trying to find another way to be in public relations. I guess that's the word. And I tried out for the fire department, and I've been in the fire department for 18 years. When I first came on, we was running a lot of calls. And over the years, I just wanted to know if I could put my input on preventing them. Being a part of the fire prevention division, we get a chance to go out, see the dangers on the front end. That part of the education goes hand in hand with the prevention. That's our way of doing our part. The reason I feel that the Shield Club is important to myself as well as the fire department is because they actually give us, as well as our family members, an opportunity to continue their education with the assistance that they give. My daughter was able to receive a scholarship. By them giving that money, that was less money that I didn't have to borrow. I can't thank them enough. Every time I talk to a fireman about them going to school, or we talking about school, have you called the Shield Club?
When I was 8 years old, I got lost. My mother and my father always told me, if you get lost or if you're scared, if you see a police officer, they are there to help you. So I'm walking by myself and it was getting dark and I'm like, okay, I'm scared. So I saw a police officer rolling by and he stopped and he was like, is everything okay? Is everything okay? I was like, I'm scared. This is my address. Please take me home. And he said, okay, come on, get in. From that moment, I was like, I want to get that car. I want to push those buttons. I want to take kids home. And like for 2 or 3 days straight, my mama said that's all I talked about was being a police officer. I joined the military. I came down to Warner Robins. I was with the 5th Mob. I loved that. And then they wanted to put me in something else. And I was like, nope, you know what? I'm going to pursue that dream that I had from when I was little. At Fountain Car Wash, we had a burglary. The people were coming in from work and they noticed that the glass had been broken on the bay doors. Those are doors that had a glass that roll up. And they called us out and we saw the video where a guy came through the bay doors, broken the windows and stolen a bunch of tools and windshield wipers and went right back out. While we were looking in the area, my trainer, he was there, so this was his I'm proud of you moment because I trained you, right? I was looking and he was like, pay attention to everything. Anything that he touched, I want you to go over it and look at it and see if it's anything that you like for fingerprints or for blood. So I'm looking, and it's a car place. So I'm like, oh, this is paint, this is blood. The investigator came and he collected the sample, and when they sent it off, it came back to a man that had been was arrested, actually in jail for burglary at the time. And boom, got my perpetrator, got him. I think the Shield Club is important because it gives recognition. It's something saying, hey, citizens, acknowledge what you're doing. We see what you're doing. We appreciate what you're doing. Thank you so much for what you're doing. And people have no idea how much thank you for your service does for us. It's not too often we get a thank you. A lot of time we go to a call and we the bad guy. People call us out, call 911, I need help, I get there, and they hate us. So to get a thank you from people that genuinely see the good that we're trying to do, that means a lot.
I decided years ago, probably right out of high school, that I wanted to become a firefighter. It was something I always wanted to do. I have been a firefighter now for 14 and a half years. There was a particular fire. It was a high-rise apartment on the 3rd story. A lady was hanging out of the window. The fire was black, heavy, turbulent smoke coming out from where she was standing. It was a bad situation, and I knew we had to do something quick. My officer was hollering, get a ladder, we need a ladder, we need a ladder. We used a 35-foot ladder, almost completely extended out. It's very high. I made the decision to shoot up the ladder myself and try to get the lady out. I told the girl, I said, I need you to scoot over in front of me. And I said, I need you to step out onto this ladder. Well, she said, I can't, I'm too short. I said, I'm gonna lean in, I want you to put your arms around my neck. And I said, I'm gonna reach in and I'm gonna grab you, and we're coming out the window. Luckily, she was not in panic mode. I do not know how or why, but she was calm. So she put her arms around my neck, I reached in and I grabbed her, and I said, you ready? Here we go, and pulled her out. And when she come out, it was just, she kind of come out on top of me. For a split second there, I thought we were both gonna fall. I told her to take her legs and just wrap them around my waist, and I said, just hold on as tight as you can. I said, I'm gonna get you off this ladder. You know, I got two guys on the ground, you know, they're butting the ladder, they're holding the ladder down with, you know, pretty big guys, and they're, you know, trying to make sure I don't fall. One of my guys had come up behind me, under the ladder behind me, and kind of put his arm to try to help brace some of the weight, and we brought her down without injury. I think she received a cut on her arm. I received a cut on my hand. Once I got her down on the ground, I realized what had just happened, and it almost shook me up a little bit. So I can't say that I could compare it to anything else. We're not always able to save someone's life, but if we're there, we're able to keep something maybe worse happening than it's already going on. It makes the job all worthwhile. Working with the guys at the station is more like a family. It's a bond, it's a brotherhood. They put their life on the line for the community, the deputies, the fire department, you know, EMS, all these guys. And I think it's great that, you know, there's a group of people there that are willing to help. It's kind of like giving back. They give to the community, but yet they're giving back to us. So I think that's a great thing.